The leatherette booth in the lawyer's office was too warm. I sat opposite Chloe, the silence between us a heavy, suffocating thing. She slid a stack of documents across the table, not meeting my eyes. Divorce papers. The division of assets was aggressively skewed in her favor. I picked up the pen. She finally looked at me, a flicker of satisfied cruelty in her pupils. She had rehearsed this moment. "You'll always be second," she said, her voice low, a final, poisoned whisper. "Always the backup plan." I didn't flinch. I just held her gaze. Her certainty was absolute, a fortress of arrogance built on years of my quiet tolerance. I signed my name, the stroke of the pen precise and unhurried. I pushed the papers back. The signature was the only thing she saw. But I had not signed the papers she gave me. I had signed the papers I had brought. Identical on the surface, fundamentally different in one single devastating clause. The betrayal wasn't the divorce, it was the dismissal. For 8 years I had been the reliable anchor, the one who built the safety net she swung from. The conflict started a year ago, when I found the first burner phone tucked into the lining of her weekend bag. Not for work, not for a friend, for James, her old college flame, the one she used to dismiss with a casual, cruel laugh. "Oh, he's just James." The phone was a direct, sickening confession of a double life, a shared apartment lease, a joint bank account, a planned escape. She hadn't left me because she fell out of love. She left me because her new first place was finally financially viable. My shock was brief. Denial was not an option. I didn't confront her. Confrontation is emotional. Strategy is absolute. I replaced the burner phone and started a deep forensic investigation into her digital life. I hired a private investigator who specialized in discrete, high-asset cases, but I handled the digital tracking myself. The rising suspense was the slow, methodical compilation of evidence. Every late night out, every business trip, every carefully worded text message was archived. I found the emails detailing the prenuptial agreement she signed, the one she thought was airtight. She had completely overlooked a small, rarely used clause in state family law, a modification I had subtly integrated years ago, the infidelity and financial misconduct clause. A clause that, if proven, mandated she forfeit all claim to joint assets, including the house and most of the retirement funds. She thought I was too oblivious to be dangerous. The major reveal was the evidence itself, a 4K video recording of her and James entering the apartment I had secretly rented 2 floors above the one they shared. A controlled drone shot capturing the exact time and location. The report was sealed, delivered only to my lawyer. I did not look at it again. I simply confirmed the data. I had already modified the divorce papers. My lawyer, a stone-faced professional I had brought into my confidence, had seamlessly replaced Chloe's documents with mine before the signing. The only difference was that tiny, single-spaced infidelity clause pasted discreetly onto the final page of the asset division schedule, a clause she hadn't bothered to read. 2 weeks later, we were in court. Chloe sat beside her lawyer, radiating confidence. My lawyer, Mr. Stern, stood to present the final, signed settlement agreement. The judge, a meticulous man in his 60s, began to read the terms aloud, his voice steady. He reached the final page, the asset division. He stopped. He put on his reading glasses. Then he cleared his throat and read the bolded, underlined section, his voice echoing in the sudden quiet of the room. Furthermore, pursuant to Section 401(c) of the executed agreement, due to verifiable, irremediable financial misconduct and the breach of fiduciary duty within the marital contract, specifically documented infidelity, the plaintiff, Chloe Hayes, shall forfeit all claims to marital assets, alimony, and sole custody of the shared residence. Chloe's world stopped. She turned to her lawyer, her mouth opening in a silent, agonizing gasp. The judge looked directly at her, then back at the document. She started screaming, a guttural animal sound, realizing the signature she was so proud of had just signed away her entire future. She raged at her lawyer, at the judge, but mostly at me. I did not move. I did not speak. I watched her perfectly manicured life dissolve into desperate chaos. I walked out of the courthouse alone. The divorce was finalized in a swift, silent motion days later. I felt no pity, only the clean, cold satisfaction of an equation solved. She wanted to feel like first place. Now she was simply zero.